Welcome to Game Crunch, your weekly video game podcast. My name is Mike Anastasia. With me today, we got Brandon.
Hello.
We're here to talk about games and things.
Yep.
All right, what's on the agenda today?
I played the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got a game in there. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was some biggish news today, but not like huge
There was some
news.
biggish news today.
Yeah. So we'll get to that too. I don't know. That's it. We'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to get into it?
Yep.
All right. Well, why don't you go first since you got the game to talk about?
Yeah, I played Black Ops 6.
Mm-hmm.
The new Call of Duty.
I think you said you really liked it too, right?
I love it. I think this is the best Call of Duty since the Xbox 360 versions.
Which is impressive.
Legitimately, it's really good.
And you're just saying, someone needs to come and take that crown, but apparently it seems like they had that planned on their own.
Yeah, I'm surprised at just how good this is. So let's see, how can I put this? I'll give a story first and foremost. So I decided to do the glitch that a lot of people know about and has been a thing for a very long time, where if you change your location to New Zealand, you can play a game a day early.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for Call of Duty.
Okay.
And by the time this game had officially released, I had played it for 26 hours. So,
not too shabby.
So, yeah, the game was like, hey, Call of Duty's released. And I was like, yep, I have 26 hours in it. But anyway, it's really fucking good. It is the best Zombies has been in forever. I fucking love the Zombies mode of Call of Duty. It's always been my favorite things to play.
Mm-hmm.
It is so fun. I lose so many hours in that mode. I was trying to figure out what the Easter egg would be the first night because they didn't unlock the Easter eggs to the official first day at 1 p.m. because they wanted everyone to be able to race at the same time and try to get the Easter egg completed. So even if you figured out the Easter egg in the first night, you still wouldn't be able to do it because they had it turned off on purpose. But it didn't matter. Campaign's great. It's really, really good. I've actually kind of stayed away from that, but I've seen nothing but good things about the campaign. Multiplayer is great. Has some very garbage maps, quite a few of them actually. But the ones that are good are really fucking good. And then, honestly, the whole package, like just put together fully, and the fact that it's also on Game Pass is just incredible. I don't even know, how they pulled this off, since a lot of people were expecting, hey, this is the first one that's on Game Pass, it's going to be just like a fucking massive cash grab, it's going to be really bad, this, that, and the other. I think this is legitimately the best Call of Duty we've been given since probably Black Ops 2.
Okay.
It's that good. It is legitimately that good. I've had so much fun playing it. I believe I'm at 40 hours now in game as my time. A lot of that, most of that, is in Zombies mode, because, like I said, the Zombies mode is incredible. It's so fun to play. And they gave us 2 Zombies maps, which is not normally what we're given at the beginning of a new Call of Duty. So you got 2 different zombie maps to choose from. Yeah, it's just really fucking good. That is the only thing I can keep coming back to. I could sit here and explain. I could be like, hey, Zombies is really good because the map design is great, and I really like the general feel of the map. I like that it feels like old Zombies, but in a pseudo open world kind of setting, and they have all these little cool things laying around, like sticky notes that are hidden in certain places that you get the note and you're able to figure out what the code for the vault is. You put in the vault code and you're able to open up vault boxes with keys you get from killed boss enemies, and then it gives you special weapons and stuff if you do that. And it's okay, there's really cool shit like that, and a little bowling mini game if you do an Easter egg to unlock it, and it's okay, really cool, funny shit like that, and it's neat, and it's awesome, and it's really fucking fun to play. I lost so much time playing the Zombies alone, and I've just been enjoying the hell out of this game. I'm very excited to see what comes next for Black Ops 6, because what we already have is just such a solid foundation that it's this is easily 9 out of 10 overall game. Really fucking good. really, really fucking good. I'm very happy. I don't really have any complaints. And like like I'm playing on PC, right? And normally you don't play COD on PC because they don't optimize it. It runs poorly. It
Mhm.
looks bad. It doesn't look as good as its counterpart on console, or run as good as its counterpart on console, unless you have like the highest of high-end software. Wow, listen, software, hardware. That's what I meant to say. But here it runs phenomenally. I've got no issues with it. There was one single technical issue I had with the game, and the day of its official launch, it was fixed. So like
Oh,
that's
pretty nice.
really good.
So on top of the shit too.
hmm
That's good.
I think this game is one of the better multiplayer games I played in a very, very long time. Like, we were sitting here earlier this year, and I was saying Helldivers 2 was phenomenal. It was really good and everything. And Sony decided to shit on it and fuck it all up. Now,
Yeah.
this is Activision. This
Mhm.
is Xbox. This is Call of Duty. It is entirely possible that this game could be shitted on and fucked all up through microtransactions, this, that, and the other, all that other stuff, that which is not in the game currently, like,
Mhm.
period, whatsoever. However, even if that was done, it wouldn't take away from the wonderful zombies mode that already exists, and it also wouldn't take away from the campaign. So I still feel like, even if it's like, I don't know, next week they launch some kind of uh microtransaction store where they start selling skins and stuff, which I mean is the normal for Call of Duty in
Yeah.
any game nowadays. Even if they did that, it still wouldn't be enough to fuck up the game, because it's just the things you can do without that sort of thing right now is just, they're fantastic. They're like a step above the rest. It's so good.
That's very good.
Yep, I'm very, very happy with this game, if you can't tell. Like, I've lost just tons of hours to this. Me and my friend have been playing it pretty much nonstop since release, like every single day, and it is just that good. It's just that good, and I'm
How
kind of
long?
amazed, to be honest.
How many days has it been out so far?
So it came out officially on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and we had it Thursday. I did sleep most of Thursday afternoon after I played it for 4 hours straight when it first launched. And then I played it most of Friday and Saturday. And then I played a little bit yesterday, but I also, not yesterday, Sunday, but I also watched like horror movies. It's Halloween time, that sort of
Yeah.
thing, which I'll get around to that in just a minute. So yeah, it's been out officially for like 4 days, and I have like 40 hours in it.
Not bad.
So yeah, and that's without touching campaign. Because like I said, I have not touched campaign. I've just seen and heard from everyone else, you gotta play campaign, you gotta play campaign, and I'm like, I'd rather keep playing zombies, because it takes like 2 hours to do a single run of zombies.
Oh, geez, is that long?
Well, the thing about zombies is you're supposed to go as long as you can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at zombies, so that's a run of zombies for me.
Okay.
We are really good at lasting a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you could obviously play zombies for like 30, 40 minutes or whatever, but I'd rather go as long as humanly possible. So yeah,
Makes sense.
yep,
What else?
that's where I'm at. Oh yeah, I want to talk about the movies I watched. I watched two
Yeah.
movies. You want me to talk about the actual horror movie first, or the Halloweeny movie?
Yeah, whichever one you want. I think I
I want you to give me the answer though. Which
All
one
right.
are you really?
Halloweeny movie.
All right, so I watched Beetlejuice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that movie was mid as fuck. It was
Yeah.
not very good at all.
I don't go that far. Definitely not as good as the first one. It was, like I said, it was very nostalgic for the original, and I don't think it was a bad movie, but just I think that
I don't think it
they
was
really
bad
should have tightened
either,
the story
but I
up
thought it was
a
like
lot.
the most meh thing ever, and it had like 8 different plots going on at once.
And
And the
none of them
movie
really
felt
was
like it
anything.
was like, if the movie felt like it was like 7 storylines stitched together, and they just couldn't decide which one they wanted to go with as the overarching like main plot. And then like the main plot, with the soul sucker, that just kind of fucked off until like the very, very ending, and then it just kind of resolved itself. It's
Yeah,
like,
it just
oh
like fizzled out.
yeah,
Yeah. It really seemed like Tim Burton's like, I really want to feature my wife in this movie, but I'm not sure how.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, well, let's just make sure she's got, a commanding presence, and
Mm-hmm.
then just did all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I really think they needed to pick like two storylines and just really kind of like settle down on
It just
those.
went everywhere. It was like there's death, there's another death, there's a serial killer, there's it just keeps going. There's a
Yeah.
soul sucker. Here's a little backstory of Beetlejuice and his grave robbery. But I will say, any single time that Beetlejuice was on screen, he was fantastic. He didn't miss a beat.
Oh
He
yeah.
was so good as the character still.
Yeah, Michael Keaton did great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I thought it was a fun movie. Just had too much going on.
What was oh god, who I don't know her name, but the girl that plays Wednesday Adams in the new
Oh,
Netflix series Wednesday, who was
Ortega. Why can't I think of her first name?
yeah.
Hmm.
Anyway, she was really good. I thought she did a really good job as Lydia Dietz' daughter.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Lydia
honestly, I don't
Dietz
think
was.
I had a problem with
I
any of the
didn't have a
casting.
problem with any of the casting. Yeah, I thought they were all great.
Mhm.
I thought every single one of the casting worked. I think it was just the story that didn't.
Yeah,
I'll
just really not enough screen time for anyone.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was barely in this film, and
Hmm.
I was really sad because he was really good every time he was on the screen.
Yeah, and
I
it's kind
kind
of
of
the
love
same thing.
Willem
It's just kind of
Dafoe.
like, yeah,
So
it's like here's a random plot for you, and we'll see eventually. Like it's like okay. Um, there was something about the edit of the movie that I heard. I was like, would have made it make a bit more sense that something got cut or something, but I don't remember what it was. But really, yeah, it just seemed like it seemed like it suffered mostly from bloat. Like it's like they had all these great ideas and they weren't really sure if they'd ever get another one. So let's just do them all at once. And yeah, that was
yep,
not the best way to do it. But
yep.
I said very nostalgic. So
I think they could have made like 3 good movies out of the singular okay-ish meh movie.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, or spread it out and do like a Beetlejuice 1 and 2 kind of thing. Split it in 2 movies.
Yeah,
Even that would have
yeah.
worked better.
I would have been down for that. I think it would have done even better, honestly.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm still happy it's made, but and it could have been better, but
Yeah,
said,
I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
give
it was
it.
bad. Like I said, it's very mid. It's
Yeah.
very middling. It's very meh. It's not terrible, and everyone does a good job for their role. It's just the writing is such a mess. It felt like the intern wrote it and then like kept dropping pages and just writing a new script and then finding the old pages and just kind of shuffling them all in there.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, we got to find something for these people to do.
Hmm.
Like, but it's like it's I don't know.
You
Just
see it for
like
like 10 minutes, and then it's like, oh, we'll come back to them later.
yeah,
It's like
mhm,
okay.
yeah. So no, I agree. What was the other movie?
The other movie, which surprisingly I think was really good, is Winnie the Pooh 2 Blood and Honey.
Well, I remember you hated the first
I
one.
hated the first one. It was really bad. It was really, really bad. The second one, they clearly tried. They actually had a plot, and I really liked it. It was very well done.
Yeah.
Clearly it's still just a B grade, C grade horror slasher film and everything, but they tried this
Mhm.
time. Is my main takeaway. And when someone's trying something with the budget that they have, you can all automatically tell that something is better, even if it's not got the quality due to not having the budget. But I think this movie is really good. Like the first one was like fucking a 3 or a 4. This is like 7, maybe even 8 on some of the really good scenes.
Oh wow, that's a
It
huge
is
difference.
It's a huge difference. It was one of the movies where, as I was watching it, I was like, okay, there's no way this is good. And like 30 minutes in, I turned to Katie and I went, is it just me or is this like actually really good? She was like, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, what the fuck? And then we just paid attention to it the whole rest of the time, because normally if you have like a bad movie, yeah, maybe you'll pull up Twitter, maybe you'll
Yeah,
check
have it
your
in the
phone a little bit.
background.
I didn't touch my phone a single time while we were watching this. I really enjoyed it. I think it was such an improvement over the first one in every single way, shape, and form, while still understanding what made the idea of the movie good. But it had like a very decent plot line, which was essentially, the 100-Acre Wood Massacre happened in the first film where a bunch of people were killed and everything. But they decided to go the route of half of the city believes that Christopher Robin was the actual murderer and is just blaming it on these beasts that existed, and the other half are actually out for revenge because of people that the We Need the Pooh squad like killed, and so they form like search parties to try to hunt them down. So you actually see from like the monsters' point of view as they're being like hunted by the humans. And they
Okay.
actually kind of become the prey at some points here and whatnot. And then obviously, they're literal monsters, so whatnot. But we get explained and in a way that makes sense, like who these monsters are.
Hmm.
And it makes sense and it's very well done. There's some really good like murder action sequences. Like there's one that takes place in like an underground rave, and that one's really fucking cool. I mean, it honestly turned it around really, really well, and I'm kind of excited to see where the series goes from here because it could go places from here, and I actually think it would be a decent idea to have one of those, like you have those movies like, The Conjuring or Saw or what have you that kind of, they're never really good past like the initial idea and everything. I
Yeah.
feel like we could do like that, but the opposite direction where the initial idea wasn't really good, but it can be expanded upon in ways that make it a really fun franchise just to watch, sort of like a popcorn slasher flick sort of deal. But it's still like is trying, and I think if they continue making movies for this series and like release them around Halloween, I think they'll do really well because they have something here with the idea that they presented in this one, and it makes sense. And honestly, it was really fun. It was a really
Huh?
fun watch. I believe it's on Paramount Plus right now, or Peacock. It's on one of those streaming services, but
Okay.
I would highly recommend watching it. Like it's very good.
I might have to check that out because it sounds kind of fun.
It is. I
The
mean,
only big reason I stayed away from the first one is because of how bad you said it was. I was like, well,
yeah,
man, it's that bad. I'm
yeah.
like, there's no way.
I thought it was really bad. There was like a really cool moment in this one where the kid was watching a recreation on TV of the first movie
Uh
because
huh.
in this movie it's canon that a bunch of people were murdered by what was claimed to be monsters by Christopher Robin.
Yeah.
He said they were monsters and everything, and yeah, like I said, some people believe him, some people don't. But they made a feature length film based off that story basically. So there's like a kid that's being babysit in this one, and he's watching that film on the TV,
Uh huh.
but the film is just clips from the original movie. And I was like, all right, that's a neat little nod to the original. I like that. That's kind of cool because it makes sense in the world of the movie because of how it was explained and everything. And it's more of just like a nudge, nudge, hint, hint, wink, wink, kind of like smiling at the camera deal. But they did a really good job with it. And like a lot of the moments in this film felt like the people that made it actually tried. And I really enjoyed my time with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was
Um,
very happy to see that like something actually came from this because this is more along the lines of what I expected the first movie to be, but the first movie was just like not good in the least bit. They knew how to handle this correctly, where the kills don't look bad. Like they knew how to like cut away, but then like cut back to like practical models with the budget that they have, that sort of deal here. They knew how to uh use things sparingly and use like inventive ways to do the kills and to do the like murder segments so that it's not like something that takes a lot of budget to do. And I
yeah.
really appreciated that too because they worked within their budget and didn't make it look like ass. And I was like, oh, okay, I like what we're doing here. This makes sense. This is good. This is good. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. I definitely recommend watching it. This is probably the most I'm going to talk about a 7 out of 10 movie in a very long time. But like, I do feel like when something goes from being utter dog shit to having like this high of a redemption arc, that it's something to be praised, even if at the end of the day you still don't be like, oh, it's a 9 out of 10 movie or something like that. I mean, no, it's not that. It's still like a 7, but like going from like a 3 to a 7 is no small feat, essentially.
Uh huh.
So yeah,
Yeah.
watch it if you want. I recommend it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it. That looks really good. Actually, speaking of Peacock, I did see they had all the Saw movies on there. As we were talking about
I love Saw. I will go to bat for Saw until the end of days. A lot of people dropped off on that series fairly early, but I sat all the way through it, and I think the storyline of Saw gets really good as it goes places, and it's really fun.
Yeah, it's. I'll have to check them out. I saw that they're there. I was like, oh, this might be a sign that I should maybe go and finish them.
Hell
All
yeah,
here.
brother! Let's do it. Yes, you should definitely watch it. They're really fun.
I'll see. It might be maybe a nice Halloween thing to watch, I guess.
Yep, I've got my Halloween movie because I'll just say this right now: the internet doth provide. I don't know how it happened because it's currently in theaters, but someone leaked Terrifier 3 to the internet, so
Huh.
I'm watching Terrifier 3 on Halloween. I'm very excited to see it.
I did see it. I saw it's already up for pre-order now, so I'm guessing it's
Yes,
probably
it's
coming
that
soon.
copy. It's that. Like, it's literally a 4K 1080p. I can't remember which one it is, but it's like a very, very high quality rip from a streaming service that does not have it up on said streaming service yet. So I have no idea who internally leaked it, but it has to be someone internally because it has like all the title cards for the streaming service that it's going to be on. So there's like no way someone not working at the streaming service got a hold of it. Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know? So they had to be like, I want people to be able to see this on Halloween. So let's put it on the internet somehow. Because like a lot of the people that would normally do, piracy things, whatever, or upload things places or whatever, that sort of thing. They're like, I didn't make this copy. I just found it. And it's like, okay, that screams out to me that the people that wanted that are going to be streaming it wanted people to be able to stream it on Halloween just like last time, but they couldn't, so they could put it out online themselves. Like, that's got to be what happened. Nothing else makes sense because everyone else is just like, I don't know where this came from. I just found it.
Yeah, let's see what they. I'm trying to see when it is. Apparently, it's the highest grossing unrated movie of all time.
It is. I'm very excited to watch it, and again, I'll probably end up buying it on one of the streaming services once it goes to something like Vudu because I have the other two. So, and I'll just say this for anyone that's listening and saying, "Why didn't you just go to theaters?" My father's very sick. I can't chance getting him sicker by going out in public and potentially bringing something back to him when I take care of him. So there's that. I just don't want to get my family sick. Also, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but theaters are really fucking expensive now. Like, really fucking expensive in a stupid way.
Yeah, they can be.
No, literally any ticket for my theater starts at like $20.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
Yeah. I do have like movies that you could see that are in the afternoon and that sort of thing, but with all the doctor's appointments and shit, that never happens.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if I can see when this starts streaming.
I've seen nothing about when it starts streaming.
Oh, it says Art the Clown's going to be ringing the NASDAQ bell on Halloween.
Terrifier 3's digital release is set for November 26th, 2024.
Oh, we must see. I saw it at the same time. So, yeah.
So, like, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, like, this has to be something that was leaked internally from, like, whoever the streaming platform is, It doesn't make any sense otherwise, because it showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, it could be. Definitely could be. Well, it says the Screenbox streaming release date's on October 31st. On this
Interesting.
Website. So I don't know if that's correct or not, but that's what this other thing says. So, yeah, so it should be soon, even if it's not. Honestly, kind of feels almost more like a Christmas movie anyway, so...
yeah, you've seen it.
Yeah. Definitely gives you the Halloween Christmas vibes, if that makes any sense.
I mean, I'm very excited to see it. Like I said, I'm going to watch it on Halloween. That's going to be our Halloween movie that we watch. So,
yeah. Anything else you got?
No, I don't have anything else really. I haven't done that much.
Yeah, it's been a weird week for me. I really haven't played anything that's worth talking about this week. So I'm going to just talk about the things that I've been watching this week. So what I've been, because I did watch two kind of Halloweenish things. One of them is one of my favorite things, but it's like old as dirt. But I love it because I saw it released on streaming the other day, and I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'm buying this. Stephen King's The Stand, like the 1994 one though.
Oh,
love that movie. Or well, I guess miniseries. It's such a weird movie that have you ever seen it before?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
The Stand is one of those ones where when I think about it, it's very much a bait and twist kind of movie.
Okay.
Or bait and switch, not bait and twist, bait and switch. Because basically it starts out, you watch like the first episode of the miniseries for kind of like the first part of the story. It's all about this, this big virus that comes, kills like 90 something percent of the people, wipes out the population. So you think it's gonna be like a disease, kind of like scary movie thing, but it goes full on like biblical, like somewhere between like into the second half of the movie, the miniseries. But it's really good. It actually has a very decent like cast of characters in there. A lot of like Rob Lowe's in there. I'm trying to think who else. There's some like really notable like actors and actresses. Kind of like how the It miniseries was back around that same time. This one seems to take itself a bit more seriously, though. I would say the guy who does the voice of Patrick from SpongeBob, he's a character.
Oh, okay.
I know that's one I can remember. I don't know why I'm blanking on all these people because I'm like, I know him from this, and I know him from this, and I know, and a lot of these people was like before they really got like big, like Rob Lowe and things like that. So, but it's really good. I always liked it. Honestly, it was always very like when I was younger, it was always like an incredibly scary movie for me. Oh, Gary Sinise, that's another one.
Okay.
Another guy that's in a lot of things. He's pretty much the main character in the movie. But yeah, no. But Stephen King's like miniseries, I thought they always did a really good job. It gave him a lot of time to explore the book stuff because his books are very long. But also just kind of like a really interesting concept. Like you think about it, it's like what would happen if 90 some percent of the population would just kind of disappear suddenly. Yeah, just thinking about like one set of people they're stranded in New York City. Like you think about just kind of like how creepy that would be. They had to go through like one of the tunnels with all these dead people in it just to get out. Yeah, it's interesting. I like the concept of it. I always found it to be very scary. It definitely has some like jump scares and stuff too that even still get me. But just I think even just like the kind of concept of it can be scary. So I really like it. If you've ever wanted to watch more Stephen King stuff, I recommend checking it out. It is a miniseries, so it's long. It's like each episode's like movie size, so it's got to be like 6 hours long to watch the whole thing. I remember it was four VHS tapes back in the day. That's all. Yeah, so way back when. But no, it is really good. I always do really enjoy it, and I've been kind of even using it as background noise lately. So.
I remember one other thing I watched, and I'm dumb for not mentioning it. I need to mention this right now because, legitimately, this is probably like the best crime drama I've seen since Breaking Bad. I started watching The Penguin.
That's pretty good.
Really fucking good. It is really, really good. I highly recommend watching The Penguin. I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but it is so good. It has like a very, very like Sopranos and Breaking Bad feel to it. I love it. It's very good. It's exactly the kind of thing that I like when it comes to like crime drama things. So, yeah, highly recommend watching that. Check it out.
The other thing I started watching too, and I just started, and we've talked about it before, but I forgot about it. So I don't know if you've actually gone through and watched it yet. But they put out those new episodes, that new season of Creepshow last year.
I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, so I started watching that yesterday. And man, it's Creepshow, so I'm sure you know what to expect. But man, it was so campy, it was great. There was just some absolutely ridiculous stuff in there. And I was all for it. I think I watched 2 of the episodes. And so each one kind of has like 2 different stories on it. And they had some good twists and some strange things going on. But just kind of that just unexpected kind of story wise and like the kind of good campiness. And also just, old school kind of visual effects, I would say. Really good stuff. And I just the first episode, like the first thing, like was just so ridiculous. I loved it. So Yeah, definitely worth watching there. I'm gonna try to finish up. I think there's 6 episodes or so. I'm gonna try to go back through and watch, some more of that stuff too. Uh, but yeah, that's really all I kind of dabbled in, like TV show and movie wise, since last week. I was really excited because I was like, "Oh, Shadows of the Damned is this week." No, it's not. I don't. The embargo dropped this week, so we can see, that
Isn't
kind
it
of
the
stuff.
31st?
Yeah, it's the 31st.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that countdown timer was saying, it because last week it was like 6 days left. So I was like, "Oh yeah, here it is." But I was talking to my cousin about games, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm excited for Shadows of the Damned." And he's like, "I don't think it's out yet." I'm like, I think it was. And I looked, it was just the embargo dropped. And I was
No,
like,
it doesn't. Oh, it doesn't start until Thursday. You can buy it Thursday.
yeah. So that'll probably end up being my Halloween game if I'm going to play a game on that day, probably. So, so I'm very excited about that. I was hoping to play that this week, but I did not. So, but yeah, that's all I've been playing. Ready to move on to news?
Yep.
All right, let's get into it. There's some kind of big things here. One of them is kind of surprising. Actually, I think the one that's most surprising is the one that kind of was the most surprising today, I think. Because a couple days ago, someone that went by the name Samus Hunter. Do you remember them?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I think they were like the, what was it? They were like one of the Pornhub people, I want to say. Like one of the Pornhub leakers. I think that was them. But basically it was like Xenoblade Chronicles. Huh?
Yep. I don't remember the Pornhub leakers. Can you explain that one more time?
I think Samus Hunter came from Pornhub.
Oh, okay. And just leak things through Pornhub?
Yeah.
Or, okay. Got
it. Or, sorry, not Pornhub. I think it was, what's the other one? OnlyFans. I think it was OnlyFans.
Do leakers have OnlyFans now?
Yeah, so if I remember, I think that's how it went. I think that's where Samus Hunter came from. So, I could be wrong. I might be thinking of the wrong leaker, but I think it was Samus Hunter. But anyways, they just randomly a couple days ago, they were like, Xenoblade Chronicles X or whatever, and nobody took them seriously because they've not been credible for a long time. And lo and behold, this morning, woke up to messages that were like, Xenoblade Chronicles X coming to Switch March 20th. So it is a real thing. Really surprising, actually. I don't think the surprising part is the fact that it's coming off of the Wii U. I think we all expected it would happen at some point. I think the timing for the release date is more of the surprising thing because they're like March, which is very soon. And also it's kind of like, really, it's about 4 months away. It's not that far. 4 or 5 months, depending on how you want to split things.
This will also be the first console you'll be able to play every single Xenoblade game on.
That's true.
Which is kind of impressive.
Yeah. I mean, you could technically do it for like a short period of time, like on the Wii U, when you could play just one and X at the same time. But
no, I meant the ones that currently exist, like 2, 3, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so now this makes it so you'll be able to play all of them again. So that's very exciting. It looks like as well. It looks like they've said it includes new content. And I would say, remember my biggest complaint about this game. Do you remember what it is? I'm complaining about it a lot, but
no, I don't actually remember what it is.
It's okay. I will tell you because I was not going to miss that opportunity. Yeah, it's the fucking story. It ends on the worst cliffhanger of all time.
Oh, okay. I do remember this now.
Yeah, it's a horrible cliffhanger. It's literally like, hey, remember that thing you've been working on this whole game? To be continued. And just like, so it doesn't really give you any closure. It actually opens up far more questions than answers anything. Because you thought you were doing this thing to save the, all the people, and then it's not actually a useful thing. And now you're like, well, then what the fuck's going on? But then the story ends, so you don't know. So, yeah, so I'm assuming that they're going to go through and address that cliffhanger. Either make it so it's, I'm guessing we'll probably give it a little epilogue. Either give it...
I mean, it's called the Definitive Edition, so, like, what's definitive about it?
But we know it's better graphics. We know that they're adding more story elements and other things. That's all Nintendo's been clear to say so far. If you remember with Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, it added an entire epilogue. Like a
I'm wondering if that's what we're going to get here as well. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm thinking it'll probably be something like that. The question is, how much are we going to get? Is it
Yeah.
going to be something short and sweet that just kind of alleviates that cliffhanger a little bit to kind of set it better for a sequel, or is it going to be a lot more kind of closure to that, and then just to give them more latitude for what's next? It's hard to say. We really don't know that much. It did look like in the trailer there was what appears to be a scene that kind of hints towards what's coming, but really doesn't give you enough to really go off of. So I do think though it looks really impressive still though, I think. I only saw like maybe one or two side by side screenshots from the Wii U.
I just watched the trailer, but it looks good.
Yeah, I thought so. Honestly, and it didn't even look like, I thought the graphics looked good, but it also looked like the frame rate was pretty solid. Like it didn't look like it was kind of jumping around.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, it's still too early to tell because you never know with trailers sometimes. But I mean, we have seen trailers even from Nintendo where you can see that frame rate dip even just in that. So, but it looks really good. I hope that they do add a little bit more quality of life stuff to some of the middle of the game, because it did get kind of grindy in the middle and it got kind of grindy towards the end, and it was really annoying getting a mech. So hopefully they kind of streamline a bit of that process a little bit more. But I'm interested to see. I am very excited, and it's another new release for next year that we have kind of in the pipeline that we know of now. So we know Donkey Kong is definitely in January. We know that Xenoblade Chronicles X is definitely in March. And then we know that Metroid and Pokemon are coming sometime next year. That's really about all we know so far. But honestly, it's still set up to be an incredibly good year. So we'll have to see. And that's just for the Switch alone. It's presumably anything that's coming out this late in the game, I would think would also be built with Switch 2 in mind to some degree. But who knows? We'll see. Yeah, but it is very exciting. So out of nowhere, never would have guessed this. Not anywhere on the bingo card for this week. So still waiting on Switch 2 announcement. A lot of people speculated it was going to be today since it's so close to Nintendo's investor meeting, which is I think the first week of November, I want to say. So that's coming up. So we'll see. If it's not before then, presumably we won't see it until next year, I think, is kind of what a lot of people believe. So but at this point they really don't have a ton of incentive to. So it's like, what are they up against this holiday season? Not terribly much. So
but the PS5 Pro is coming out this holiday.
Yeah, man, the PS5 Pro's gonna smoke the Switch. It's gonna smoke it right out of the wall. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
For $700.
Yeah.
And upscaled fucking 865p. Yeah, great job.
Yeah. I was talking to my cousin this weekend, and he's like, well, I think the PlayStation's doing very well. And I'm like, I don't know which rock you're living under. I'm like, Sony's just making all these big mistakes lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of, actually goes
really... There we go. I was waiting for it. I actually don't think this is a mistake. I'm very happy that it happened. Be completely
You're happy that
honest.
Closed?
Yes, fuck it. Like, if you're going to spend that long making a game that is for no one, that feels like it was created in a fucking lab, and it doesn't feel like it had any sort of soul in it whatsoever, and you planned for it to be like the next big, huge Sony thing, and it was that big of a misstep, I don't think you believe you deserve to still have your job anymore. Just saying.
Unable to fail. That's kind of a big...
Just saying. I don't think... I think the best way to fix the industry is to get these people that are like, hey, you know what? We can't fail. It doesn't matter. We'll just shit out anything. Out of the industry. And this is a good first step. So
yeah, but that doesn't always work, because then on the flip side though, what ends up happening is people are like, oh no, I feel so bad for these people that lost all their jobs. Let's bring them into their studio. Oh, what did they do? Oh, you made all these great games. Let's get you into this role, similar to what you were in before, because they can, that's always the thing. It's easy to pass blame off on a lot of other things, but a lot of times people fail upward, I feel like, in the video game industry too.
I guess you're right.
Yeah. There's a couple people we've seen do that a couple times. They're like, why did this person get another studio? And they're like, nope, they fucked it up again. Like, what were they thinking? So it happens on that side of things. I mean, it's terrible to see that these people lose their jobs. I think at this point, it's pretty definitive to say Concord is not coming back.
No, it's not coming back. That thing's dead.
Yeah. So that's kind of out there. But again, how they even got to this point in this state where not one single person was like, hey, maybe we should fix this before, we really, ruin it. That it never happened. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's gone. Concord likely gone. So, yeah. So I don't know. Good luck with all the people looking for other stuff. Hopefully, you guys rebound quickly. And hopefully Sony learned a lesson from this. And it was interesting too, because you saw a lot of the kind of like the financial breakdown for some of these things. Like they said that these kind of Kotaku was reporting today said that there's about 200 million invested into the game after they purchased Firewalk. So that 200 million was not even including the financial purchase of the studio, and maybe even who knows whatever money was invested into it prior to Sony. And who knows if it even includes, money that was earmarked for it later. So they definitely, they spent a lot. They just actually literally, I said spent. Waste is probably more appropriate.
Yeah, that's definitely more appropriate
on this game. So
yeah.
Yeah. So that at least for now, seemingly the end of the Concord saga. So we'll see. What else? Anything else?
I don't think so. Let me double check.
Random thing I just remembered news-wise is there Shadow Man and Turok 2 are out on the NSO. I think.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, because they added 2 new games to the rated N64 app thing. So,
nice.
Yeah,
those are good games. They're fun games. They're good just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, perfect Halloween games, really. But I think that honestly, I don't think I have any other news stuff.
Did I already? I don't know if I mentioned this last week or if it was announced after last week. The new Vampire Survivors thing.
We talked about the castle.
Okay, yeah, just making sure. Yeah, it comes out this week on the 31st. So
yes, also
very excited for that. Very very excited for that. Okay. No, I don't think I got anything else. I think I'm good.
Okay, you ready to wrap up then?
Yep.
Okay. Well then, thank you everyone for listening to us tonight. Don't forget you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. YouTube. I always forget that one. And if you want to reach out to us, you can send us an email at gamecrunchcast@gmail.com. And also check out all of our old episodes on game-crunch.com. Brandon.
Hello.
Any final thoughts?
I don't have any. I'm good.
All right. Well, that said, my name is Mike Anastasia. You can find me online. I'm Clash of Penguin there or on your favorite gaming console. And until next week, game on.
Game on.
In a land called Game Crunch where pixels gleam, magic realms and heroes in a dream. Every level new adventure calls. In this world, no one ever falls. Monsters lurking, treasures to find, puzzle pieces fitting in your mind. Quest to conquer, legends to write. Every turn a dazzling light. Game Crunch, game on, play all night. In this realm everything feels right. Joysticks acting, hearts on a flight. Game Crunch, game on under moonlight. From the forest to the castle gates, every corner a new twist awaits. Dragons soaring, skies of cerulean, villains' plots to be undone. Battle with power-ups in your hand, dance to beats only you command. Champions rise under your command, lost in gameplay in this land. Friends together in this digital world, every move magic unfurled. Trophy stacking every gold star, reaching far, no dreams too far. Game Crunch, game on, play all night. In this realm, everything feels right. Joysticks tapping, hearts on a flight. Game crunch, game on under moonlight.
Did you see this thing? I feel like this is, this is actually a really good feel-good story, and I forgot about it until I just saw it right now. Did you see that the No Man's Sky dev fixed one fan's save specifically?
No, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was very recent, like yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, I had no idea.
There was a fan who was having some visual glitches that were tied to a save file, and they'd put 611 hours into the game.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
Yeah. And good on No Man's Sky devs, where they basically were like, look, this person's put 600 hours in our game. Like, why the fuck would we not address their problem? Like, these are the people you want to help. Like, and so they went through, they personally fixed this person's save, which also gave them a save fix for everyone who was having the same problem, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But, I thought it was pretty cool that they actually went through and addressed that specifically. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought so.